But thank you very much for the opportunity to talk with you today. My name is Mark Michalski, and I'm with a company called the Cadmus Group, and I'm representing the U.S. EPA's Energy Star program, specifically water heaters, and their sales and marketing initiative. And we've been trying to work more closely with PHCC to reach out to contractors and plumbers and help us with a mission that we're really on in terms of trying to increase uptake and adoption of Energy Star certified water heaters through early replacement. So let me see our next slide. Wanted to go through some information that we're currently working on this fall with the Energy Star promotion that's ongoing, and kind of explain what Energy Star is doing and the folks we're working with, and see if there is interest in a way that interested parties can become a part of the promotion and ongoing campaign. And then two, I want to spend a little time talking about the energy efficiency program sponsors and utility programs that have a lot of incentives that are supporting, energy efficient Energy Star certified water heaters, and share some of our experiences, knowledge, and provide some insight on how to best work with those folks. Before we dive in and talk about Energy Star certified water heaters and kind of all the work that we're doing this year, just wanted to give a quick overview of the 4 types of certified water heaters that are certified and available in market. I'm not going to go through all the specifications in the chart here, but basically there's electric heat pump, gas storage, gas tankless, and solar. There was a new specification that was done almost about a year and a half ago. It came in effect April 14th, 2015, and that was a big point of transition for Energy Star for water heaters, with electric heat pump really becoming the predominant electric water heating technology that meets and exceeds the criteria. There was really not a major impact to gas from previous standards. And I just wanted to provide some insight on 3 of the major product categories: electric heat pump water heaters. We talk about gas storage and gas tankless, and some talking points for certified products before we launch into going over promotional materials. Some of the greatest savings and the greatest interest we're seeing from a lot of utilities, distributors, retailers, and manufacturers Energy Star partners with is for certified heat pump water heaters. There's great savings. We have some metrics that it could save a family of 4 up to about $350 a year. And when you compare a certified product with a non-certified product, definitely much more efficient, up to 50% more efficient than standard models, which is definitely a great talking point for consumers. When it comes to gas storage water heaters, the savings is definitely lower than electric heat pump water heaters. Consumers can expect to save about $105 over the course of a product's lifetime. So the savings really isn't there in comparison to heat pump water heaters, but it's still a more efficient product on the market. Excuse me. And there are quite a few gas storage water heaters that qualify for utility and efficiency program rebates, and of course a federal tax credit that we'll talk about later on in the presentation. And lastly, gas tankless water heaters. This provides the lowest amount of savings with only $90 over, it says a year, but that should be over its lifetime. And they're 8% more efficient than standard models that are out in market. One of the greatest things that we like to talk to partners that at least inform us about is like the long life of tankless hot water heaters, and the fact that it really take up a lot of space, which we're seeing a lot more interest from consumers when we talk with them at various advocacy events throughout the country. So that was just some base information. And now, like I said before at the intro, I want to talk a little bit more about what kind of materials and content we have from our national promotion, and exactly, moreover, what Energy Star is doing to really try to spur some market demand for more efficient units that we just went over. And the best way to talk about that is just to give you the 5 reasons that Energy Star really cares about water heaters. One, there's a low market share of Energy Star certified water heaters, and these products can save customers hundreds When we're talking about the heat pump water heater, according to some numbers we have, we're looking at about a 1 to 2% market share for certified water heaters that have heat pumps. So, definitely a long way to go. Another thing we've realized is that about roughly 40% of the installed water heater stock across the nation is about 10 years or greater. So when you look at a lot of these tanks that have a lifetime of about 12, 13, 14, 15 years, there could be a pretty large amount of retrofits occurring. So that's one thing that we look at and think trying to talk to customers more proactively would be a good idea, as opposed to trying to catch them when they're in when they're in distress mode, when they're trying to get something replaced. And that's that third point that I was talking about for early replacement. The fourth point is that there is actually quite a widespread availability of significant incentives, rebates, and a federal tax credit out there for a lot of efficient units. We have some data on this to kind of show what's available where throughout the country, but there's a lot of dollars available to offset the higher price point, and there is no understanding of how long those dollars will exist. And lastly, we did do a big push around the fall last year. It was the first time Energy Star really got behind a national push for Energy Star water heaters for early replacement. We learned quite a bit. We had some really great partners, and this year we have more folks working on it together. And the more momentum and the more information we get out there into the hands of consumers, the more opportunity there is for them to make an informed purchase decision and purchase a certified water heater that's going to save them hundreds of dollars over its lifetime. So as I mentioned about this water heater, the National Water Heater Promotion, there's really three reasons that Energy Star is pushing this. One is they want to increase the awareness and the value of certified water heaters, encourage planned replacement, and then really try to increase overall demand and sales, because we're trying to really increase market share and get more of these units installed. Planned replacement, to us, people aren't really thinking about how well their water heater is doing on a consistent basis. They think about it when it fails, and that often leads to many times the consumer not wanting to shop around or do a lot of research on some of the products that they could install in their home. They take whatever is going to work for them because they need to have hot water. So we really think there's a great opportunity to use planned replacement and really informing the customer that if they have an old water heater, it may be time for them to start looking into changes, that this is really the best time to upsell them and show them the value that a certified water heater provides for them. So what we've done is we have a whole marketing and outreach campaign dedicated to this. We have what we call paid and earned media on a regional basis. So we're doing quite a bit of online banner advertising. I think this is occurring in the Pacific Northwest and the Northeast and around the Metro DC area. And there's also quite a few public relation activities currently existing in support of the campaign. Some are done by regional entities, others are done by utility programs, and Energy Star is also trying to work with contractor magazines and other types of public relations outlets that may appeal to either interested contractors or plumbers that may want to try this strategy, or just consumers to educate them about the benefits. We have a dedicated campaign website, and we've developed the Ask the Expert video that you see a clip of on the right-hand side of the screen. We're sending out a whole bunch of consumer messaging through social media and blast emails, and we've also developed a toolkit for anyone that's interested to use messaging or graphics or information to help market to their customers. We've also developed quite a few in-store and online materials that can be used. We have graphics and taglines for this promotion, shareable graphics that have some key messaging. We have templated signage for utilities. And we have this widget, if you see in the bottom left part of the screen, that people can take and put on their website and it links back over to the campaign page that I was mentioning beforehand. There's a clip right there of Baltimore Gas and Electric that's actually put it on their page, and they're using it to help draw traffic into the campaign landing page. And then from a partner support standpoint, we're definitely seeing a lot of utilities and manufacturers and retailers support this initiative. There's a lot of information in InStore, a lot of special point of purchase materials. There's been quite a few digital education campaigns going on as well, just to increase awareness. You see quite a few social media clips right there from some prominent utilities and energy efficiency programs across the country. And there's also been a bigger push for partners on working with contractors on outreach and engagement efforts. And that's one of the main reasons that I'm here today, is just to not really talk about what Energy Star has done, just really send a message from the efficiency community that, energy efficiency organizations, whether they be utilities or regional organizations or, Energy Star or, other entities are very interested in trying to work with contractors to see what types of support or tools they need to help better engage their customers on the value of energy efficient water heaters. As I said before, there's a lot of interest because at times of distress, I think a lot of utilities and energy efficiency programs think they're having a very challenging time getting the customer to buy a more efficient unit. So this proactive approach with early replacement is a method that we feel and utilities and energy efficiency programs feel will be more beneficial to helping them achieve their goals long term. And this year we actually had a webinar we did in the spring with two utility programs. One was New Jersey Natural Gas and the other CenterPoint Energy. I know CenterPoint Energy is all throughout pretty much the central part of the U.S., but we're working with the CenterPoint Energy out of Minnesota, and they shared some of their tricks of the trade and working directly with contractors and plumbers and some of the successes they've had in their programs. And the main reason they did that is because there really has been a lot of demand from utilities and energy efficiency programs to understand how to better work with their local plumbers and contractors and work with them to help get some of these units sold and installed in their service territories. And outside the national campaign, we also have quite a few educational materials that can be used as well. They're typically done by fuel type, so we have electric fact sheets, we have gas fact sheets, but we have all fuel tools as well. Retail sales training, contractor training. We have copy documents that can be used for any types of outreach that is being done. So a lot of it really just has basic information about the value of Energy Star and the types of savings and benefits that certified water heaters provide. But it's good to have if you're looking to supplement some of your marketing materials or outreach materials with some other copy and content. And specifically, here's a good resource once the slide comes up on all the materials and things that I kind of talked about that are in relation to this promotion. There's really two websites, EnergyStar.gov/water heaters and .gov/products/marketing materials, where you can get graphics, infographics, messaging documents, other types of marketing assets. And also we have a product finder and a rebate finder. So the rebate finder is great if you want to see what specific utilities or energy efficiency programs have for offers in the region you're working in. You can type in the zip code and see what kind of offers come up. It's a good thing to consider when you're talking with customers to make sure they're aware of everything that they have available to them from their utility. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in a few slides. And as I talked about when I opened up the presentation, not only do I want to talk with you about what Energy Star is doing, but also specifically how to work with some of these, what we call energy efficiency program administrators or utilities. And First off, just want to kind of explain why utilities and energy efficiency programs care about water heaters specifically. I gave you a similar slide about why Energy Star cares about water heaters, so I thought it would be relevant to have one for utilities. So utilities and energy efficiency programs, they support water heaters because by getting more efficient water heaters out in the market, it helps them achieve their demand reduction goals that vary from service territory to service territory throughout the country. So, you know, water heaters, Energy Star certified water heaters are a way that it helps them meet their operating goals. And many organizations, they like to partner with market actors to engage their customers. So they'll partner with, you know, retailers or manufacturers or distributors, and a lot of them, like I mentioned before, they're looking to work more closely with contractors and plumbers because you are having a lot of interactions with the customer and really understands what the customer is looking for and what their pain points are, because you're in the house installing the units that the utilities are trying to incentivize. And it's just important to note that, you know, each different one of these programs is different. There are some similarities, though. About 90% of all the programs throughout the U.S. Use some kind of mail-in rebate for their residential water heater program. So if you buy a Energy Star certified heat pump water heater and you want to get an incentive for it, you have to complete some documentation and mail it in about 90% of the programs. Speaking of heat pump water heaters, about 50% of them 50% of the programs are promoting heat pump water heaters in all their promotional activity, and we counted 236 incentives that are available for Energy Star certified water heater throughout the country. And this this map to the right side of the screen, it may be a little bit challenging to read, but this is the budgets, and this is the incentive and rebate budgets that are in relation to Energy Star certified water heaters. So that purple all the way on the bottom is 50 million or greater, and in the white area it's less than 50,000. But I think the one thing to take away from just the graphic is that there's a lot of money set aside for incentives for Energy Star certified water heaters in the U.S. There are some states we didn't have data to provide, but you know, as a whole, there is a considerable amount of incentives that can help offset the cost of a certified water heater. And I just wanted to show some more metrics, and this is a study that Energy Star did with all the various different utility and energy efficiency programs, so we can learn a little bit more about you know, what they're doing with their incentive dollars for certified water heaters. This specific slide breaks down the types of incentives by region and the type of water heaters. So you can see just quickly that, you know, electric storage water heaters is the predominant product that's being incentivized throughout the whole entire country, but there's also considerable support for gas. Commercial is not really widespread. I know we're just been talking basically about residential today, but there are some pockets in the Midwest and West that do have commercial water heater programs. And once again, just you know, talking about the value of the incentive, this just shows a range on the average Energy Star water heater incentive by utilities and energy efficiency programs by product type. You know, solar water heaters, by and large, has the greatest average incentive. But as you work left to right, you can see it looks like everything for the most part is over 200 until you get to gas storage, which looks like it's between about $150 and $200 as an average incentive when you look at performance on a year-to-year basis. And I mentioned this before, but the best way to find local incentives is to go to the rebate finder, and that's at energystar.gov/rebate finder. Just by typing in your zip code, you can find available rebates in the area, the incentive amounts, when they start and stop, and more importantly, the name, location, and contact information of the rebate sponsor, or this is the person working at the local utility or energy efficiency organization that's running a program. So if your customers or you are looking to get in touch with someone that's running a local program, this is one of the best ways to do that. And lastly, I wanted to include some information kind of building on that thought on how to engage local utilities and energy efficiency programs for increased collaboration. So as I mentioned before, a lot of interest from utilities and energy efficiency programs to increase collaboration with contractors and plumbers. And just, two steps, I think if you're looking to be proactive and engage some of those folks is, by using some of the links I provided, if you understand what the utilities programs are, the products that they're promoting, I think that's great to kind of have a proactive understanding of how you can work with them and what they're supporting and in their program around your business, and then definitely reach out and try to engage them because they're trying to do more with contractors and plumbers, and either through enhanced trainings or piloting new approaches, or just doing different things to help kind of move the needle for certified products. And there's a hyperlink for reach out, and I can send this to Wayne for distribution afterward. And that brings up a partner contact directory that's a part of the study we did. It was the study that I was referencing before with all the graphics on incentives for products, and it's got a pretty thorough listing of all the various programs throughout the country, the folks that are responsible for them and how they can be reached. So definitely encourage anyone that's interested in talking with their local utility to do so, because they definitely want to talk with you and learn how to better work together to sell more of these units. And I wanted to share information quickly on the federal tax credit. I think I talked about it at a very high level. I didn't really go into depth, but there is a federal tax credit. It's $300 for Energy Star certified water heaters. Basically, it's any heat pump and gas, oil, and propane units with an EF of 0.82 or thermal efficiency of at least 90. So not every single Energy Star unit will qualify for gas, but everything will qualify for electric. And how to apply is pretty simple for your customers that have purchased a unit and had it installed by this year. This credit actually began, I believe, in 2011, so it's been going on for 5 years. The unit just has to be purchased and installed by the end of this year, and then you can file a form 5695 with the tax return. The link on the bottom brings you to the page with all the information on this tax credit. So if you think about utility incentives and federal tax credits, there's quite a bit of dollars available to customers that they can receive to help offset the cost of a more efficient water heater. So in summary, just wanted to first off thank everyone for your time today and apologize about the glitching getting going. But let's see. Just wanted to say that there are a lot of opportunities to engage with Energy Star. We do have a lot of great fact sheets and information that you can pull from and use to supplement any of your marketing materials or advertising to educate your customers about certified water heaters. The concept of early replacement, we think it's a great idea because the units that are Energy Star certified often are a little bit more costly than standard units, and it's a little bit more of a considered purchase because of the price point. So, if any opportunity we have to really engage customers and let them know the value of Energy Star and talk about being proactive instead of reactive, we think we can, get more efficient units purchased and installed. And one request we have is, if you're stocking your truck, see if you can get certified units on your truck for the customer that may have heard that message and is looking for something a little bit more efficient. And lastly, spent quite a bit of time talking about utilities and energy efficiency organizations. Just wanted to mention that they're definitely looking to work with plumbers and contractors on a local level, and there's definitely an opportunity to work with them and be a part of their business operations. So once again, thank you very much for your time, and I'm going to open it up to any questions. And I just wanted to share First off, the contact information from Steve Ryan, who works at the US EPA. He oversees sales and marketing for water heaters, and this is my colleague and my contact information. We work in support of Steve on sales and marketing initiatives for water heaters.